Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so glad to be here with another video for you guys. Thank you for those who are joining, watching my videos, people who are still subscribed to me, and just supporting. It really means a lot to me. So this video today is going to be a little different than other videos I've had. Kind of, I guess, a part of it is familiar with something I've posted before, but then another part of it not so much. So I just wanted to create something different, just fill you guys in, and also just let you know where my head has been, where I'm at mentally and stuff like that. It's kind of gonna be a mental health kind of video. I don't know if my background is blurred out. If it isn't, I'm sorry, but this is like all my clothes back here, so I just I just wanted a different background for today. So I'm basically gonna let you guys know a little bit of what's been happening with me, along with just mental health, because with 2 years almost of me being in therapy, I just feel like it's something that I want to talk about, and hopefully people would appreciate it and can relate. Those who support me, I appreciate you, who watch my videos, who actually care and watch my videos, because I know there are people who watch my videos and I feel like it's just to be nosy, to know like what's going on in my life, and I'm not trying to be negative, but I've just noticed it, and it's like I just want support and people who actually care and want to watch my videos and know how I'm doing, not to kind of just stay in the loop of what's going on in my life, just to be able to say they know what's going on and that's it. That's not the kind of audience I want. So hopefully it's my supporters that are watching it and they can appreciate this. So let's just jump right in. I know I previously in a few years ago I mentioned in a video just a lot that was happening for me in 2019. I think the video was, I don't know if it was my story, the first episode or something like that. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but 3 years ago I did mention in my video that my sister had passed away. That was 2019. So of course that's something I'm still grieving over. I miss my sister every day. So now fast forward to 2022. My sister has, my other older sister, because I have a few, she was diagnosed with colon cancer last February of 2021, and she actually, it's been a long journey for her, and she was on chemo, radiation. It was just a lot going on with her, and she was doing really good, and I know that it weighed on her a lot, because cancer is just one of those things that we never want to know people to have them, to have it, and a lot of people have that in their families and stuff like that, and they kind of like it sucks. It's something that a lot of people have to deal with. Cancer runs in my family. So yeah, my sister, she was on a journey for maybe a year and a half, and it started to get bad for her, and it really started the past like couple months. It was, I want to say, it got bad for her. It was a lot of up and down. It's like a roller coaster, just up and downs, and in and out of the hospital, a lot of pain, her cancer spreading. It just was it was crazy, but unfortunately she passed away. And this was actually recently. She passed away 3 weeks ago, almost. Yeah, I don't think it's been 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks. So she kind of like, it was, her body inside, it was deteriorating, and she had her cancer spreading a lot. It went to her spine, it went all over, and she basically it was spreading to the point that it was like she was in a lot of pain. She was on a lot of medicine. She had to go to the ICU. All her organs were failing. It was a lot. And my family and myself were in Virginia, in the ICU with her for a couple of days. It felt really familiar because my sister in 2019, she went through that, and she didn't have cancer, but this is a little different. But just the experience of being in the ICU with family and stuff like that, for many hours of the day and night, it was kind of the same situation. Of course that's that's very challenging for my family and myself, because we already lost my sister, and you know, now my mom lost a second daughter. And you know, with my niece, who's my sister's daughter, and my sister's husband, it was very difficult. It still is. It's really, really fresh. But I wanted to just mention it because it's really important to me. Just to kind of like go into the topic of my therapy after. It'll kind of like give you an idea of one of the reasons why I wanted to mention this, you know, with what happened with my sister. But how am I doing? I would say that I'm okay. I think that it was harder for me the first week, especially seeing it and going to the ICU, being there for hours and hours a day. Sometimes having to come, like there was a few days we had to come in the middle of the night, and some of us hadn't slept yet. Some of us slept 1 or 2 hours, maybe 3, if that, and we had to just kind of like go to the ICU. It was just a lot mentally and emotionally for us. So it was harder for me the first few days, and you know, I could say that honestly I'm okay. You know, I have my moments when I think about her, or actually when I see a picture of her, I just break down crying, because you know, my sister, she was my role model. She's always been the person that I've looked up to. And you know, I have certain things I get out of all of my sisters, you know, my older sisters that were there when I grew up, and they were there to support me. They were the ones who showed me like affection and love and all that stuff. So from each sister, I have a different thing that I get out of them, you know, and for that, from that particular sister, she's always been my role model. Me being a dancer, you know, she's the one that I learned to dance watching. I used to go to her shows when she was young, or when she was a teenager. I think she was a teenager, like maybe 20 or getting there, and I used to go to her shows and watch her, and you know, say that I want to dance too, and can I join the group and stuff. So it was cool. But you know, she's always been the person that I go to when I have serious decisions to make and everything. I go to her. She's always given me a different perspective in life, and I've always appreciated that. And the crazy thing is that it's like, it makes me sad but happy at the same time, that just with my sister passing, you can just see like how much she meant to people, and how happy people are, you know, to know that they met her, or like, you know, there's people who, like co-workers and just people that she used to work with, just saying how much she's done for them, what she's meant to them, how she helped them do this and that to get their career and go into school to be a doctor. And like, my sister has just done so much for people. And you know, just talking to people and stuff like that, it kind of has made me realize that, you know, I'm still working on it, but it's been making me realize that she was put in this world and on this earth for a certain amount of time to do her job, to do what her job was for the world and for us. And now her job is in heaven, and she did what she was meant to do. She, you know, achieved her purpose, and she did what she had to do. And you know, it's gonna be a long road for me and my family, and you know, all of us. But there's just been a lot of things that I've been trying to kind of like get my mind to think more about in regards to my grieving and moving forward and stuff like that, including like me hearing like how much my niece is inspired by me, her daughter. She's almost 14, and how she looks up to me, how much she admires me, how much she loves, you know, me doing the makeup. You guys have seen her on my my channel, like she was like 6 or 7. And then when I did the dances, like the in dances with my nephew and niece, she was in that video actually a few years ago, like 3 years ago. Yeah, I think 3. So just hearing how much I mean to my niece, and you know, I've mentioned that I want to work with children and be like a counselor. So it's just a lot of things that have been making me think about, you know, okay, now this is what I have to do. You know, I have to honor my sister. I want to be there for my niece. I want to be the role model for her that my sister was for me. And my cousin actually told me that. She was like, be what your sister was to you, to her daughter. And it's true. I was just like, you know, that's so true. So even with me wanting to move over there, and I've mentioned that in the past, I still do. I still plan to. And just different things that, you know, I've been figuring out, and possible jobs I can get over there and stuff like that. It's been making me think more about, you know, the future and what I can do to honor my sister and make her proud, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's where I've been at, you know, mentally, as far as my sister and just how I've been. You know, of course, people in my family, including my mom, my sister's husband, my niece, my siblings, all of us, like, we have our days, we have our moments, but grieving is something that no one can really tell you how to do it. You know, we just kind of have to. And everyone grieves differently, you know, and that's where we are. So everyone's okay, you know. There's just, it's still very difficult because it just happened, you know. It just happened. I'm actually, you know, I'm surprised that I'm able to film this video and not, you know, break down crying, but that goes into what I'm about to talk about. So yeah, that's pretty much what has been going on with me the most lately, and that's it. So what I wanted to mention to people is about mental health. I know that I've talked about that on my channel before, and just me going to therapy and working on myself and stuff like that. I would say, you know, therapy is one of those things that is hard for people to say to themselves that they know that they need it or that it'll benefit them. And I feel like some people feel like if they go through experiences in their life, that's what heals them and that's what makes them, you know, move past their traumas and move past the things that have affected them still to this day. But in reality, I don't feel that your experiences heal your traumas. I think that it just makes you stronger, and it allows you to be a different and, you know, a better person, you know, for some people, because, you know, experiences don't always make people better people. Sometimes it makes them worse. But personally, me, I feel like therapy is something that everybody should take, and I just think it could help people a lot, and it's helped me a lot. I've learned so much in my therapy, and I feel like it has made me think differently. You know, I'm still myself. I still think a lot the same, but there's certain things I think about in a different way, in a different light, and only I know that. Only I know it, and my therapist knows it, which is fine because that's all that matters. But I think sometimes people think that when you go to therapy, like, you should go for specific reasons, like reasons that they may feel that you need to go to therapy. But I feel like, you know, inside, you know, in your heart what you need therapy for. You know what has happened to you in your life that maybe makes you feel you need therapy. Someone else cannot tell you, like, well, you know, do you mention this and that in your therapy because you're X, Y, and Z? Like, it doesn't work like that. You know, it's like you go to therapy for all. First of all, going to therapy is like, people have, there's different therapies to go to. You know, you could go for anger management. You could just go to just a therapist, you know, just to kind of bring everything out of you. Usually the point is getting to the root of how you got to where you are, and then going on a journey of getting yourself out of that. So it's not like go to therapy because you can't handle criticism. It's a bigger picture than that. The bigger picture is that you gotta dig deep into the root of it. Where did it start? And when you realize where it started, it's like a flower. It opens up and you're like, oh my God, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Oh my God, now I get it. That's how therapy works. It gets you to the root of the issue, where it started, how it started, and it makes its way up to allow you to see what it is, to see why, and to see what you have to do to heal from it. excuse me. You know, and I feel like it's helped me a lot. One thing I noticed is that, you know, when decisions I make or how I feel about things tend to have been and still is problems for people. If I don't want to do something, if I want to do something this way, if I want to do something that way. And it's gotten to the point that I just don't care. Like, I do what I want to do that's going to work for me. If something's not going to feel good, I'm not going to do it. If something's going to feel right, I'm going to do it. Letting the outside world, your friends, your family, interfere and interrupt your decisions and your way of feeling about something, it only makes you, like, I just saw this in a video yesterday. Candice Vandal, she's everything. She's helped me so much in even the short videos that she has. But it's like, your authentic self, you cannot be that if you're focusing on other people's views and perspectives of how they think that you should handle something. And that's what I'm learning, and it's still a work in progress, but there's just so many people that it's like they want you to think and feel the way that they do. And it's like, because you don't do something this way, they look at you a certain way. And I get it. Sometimes there's things I feel, and I wish that a person could feel where I'm coming from or feel how I feel. Because I'm very expressive. I have emotions. I show how I feel. A lot of the time, if I want someone to feel the way I feel, it's because I care more than they do. It's because I'm showing more than they are. You know, if people have different perspectives, that's fine, but it's also how you go about it. You can't be harsh or rude about it. You can't just expect for people to accept you for the way that you are. If there's things about you that you need to work on, then you need to work on them. Nobody has to accept you for who you are if there's things about you that are not positive. If there's things about you that need help, then nobody has to accept you. Nobody has to accept those things. Just like I had to have an experience happen with me for me to get into therapy and get to the point of where I'm at now. And honestly, if it makes me have to be by myself, just me in a bubble, Jenny's world by myself, but my mental and my healing is happening for me, and it's really making me see things and do things the way I should have a long time ago, then I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally fine with that, because sometimes you just focus so much on, you know, what other people think you should do, what other people want you to do. And sometimes I still do. You know, it's normal. But for the most part, I decide things for myself now. I don't constantly go to people and feeling like if I don't do what they say or they feel, how they gonna look at me. I just gotten to a point where I just don't care. You know, because at the end of the day, I do what I have to do for myself. I go to therapy. I've been going to therapy for almost 2 years. In October, it's going to be almost 2 years. I have a long way to go, but I also have come a long way. And the way that I've handled things before, the magnitude of what something does to me to affect me is much different. It's much different. And with my grieving, it's like I just spoke to my therapist last week about how I've been grieving and how a lot of the times I feel okay. And she tells me, and I'm like, I don't know why, like, that's so different. She's like, what do you expect grieving is supposed to be for you? And she's like, you have to, I was like, you know, crying, being sad, maybe depressed, not wanting to do much. It was my sister, you know, my second sister in 3 years. She's like, well, Jennifer, she calls me. She's like, Jennifer, you have to understand, like, you have to remember, you've been in therapy for almost 2 years now. And she's like, you've learned a lot. And she was like, maybe the way you grieve now is different. Maybe your growth has made you grieve differently. And it's true. When you go to therapy and you bust your ass and you do what you have to do, constantly, you notice the way you handle things change. The way you interact with people change. There still may be a lot of work to do. You may have a long way to go, because there's no telling when therapy is going to be like it for you. My little sister has been with her therapist, I think, for like 6 years already, 7 years. And, you know, and she's still going, and it's helped her drastically. So I have a long way to go, but my therapist has been the best thing ever for me. And I've also been learning that things happen the way that they're supposed to. You know, like we can plan in our minds what we want for ourselves. We can plan what is best for us. But God has the plan. God has the plan. God has your path. We can try and write it. We could try to do this. We could try to do that. We could get in relationships or get back with people that we know we shouldn't. But God is like, you can do whatever you want. I'm still gonna shift you back into the right direction that you're in, that you're heading, that I have for you. And sometimes, you know, we have free will. So God is gonna show us, you know, he'll guide us and get us in the right direction. But at the same time, He has a path for us already. It's already written, and that's what I truly believe. And that's why I try to ask God for answers, and I always get answered. I always feel it, or something shows me, and it's been happening for me. It's been happening for me. And when you also get to a certain point in your life, you realize that certain things are not meant for you. You realize that certain people are not meant for you. Certain people are not meant to be around you. And sometimes, you know, when you have done your work and other people have not, it shows in your relationships with them. And it's not to say that if you're in therapy, you're better than people, but you're growing more. You're definitely growing more as a person, because everyone has traumas, everyone has flaws. But how many people are actually doing something about them? That's the question. And for people to do things about their therapy, about their traumas and everything that has happened to them, and why they're this way and why they're that way, and kind of like working on themselves to get out of that. People who do that, they grow. And, you know, it takes a lot for people to come to terms with that. But I've had a lot of experiences in my life, and I don't think that my experiences, even if it's drastic or losing people or, you know, almost killing myself or just crazy things that have happened in my life, I don't think that has healed me. I think it's made me a strong person. I think it's made me wiser. But what heals you, that I believe, and I've heard this from professionals, I'm sure my therapist has even told me this. I've read it in books as well. Therapy really helps you heal from your past and heal from your traumas. And that's why I suggest it to everybody. It has helped me a lot. And, you know, I don't have to prove to anybody what therapy has done for me, but to myself. The only person I have to prove it to is to myself. And at the end of the day, if people genuinely love me, know how to talk to me, know how to have compassion for me, then I'll do the same. Those are the people who I give the same energy. If you want to be nice to me, I'm going to be nice to you. If you don't know how to talk to me, I'm not going to talk to you. It's really that simple. And I've come to terms with just realizing that there's a lot of people that I no longer speak to, and there's reasons for it, you know. And I just think that some people just don't understand how much therapy could do for them, and, you know, how much it means, how much it'll get, you know, you'll get deep into the root of things, and it'll change you as a person, because it's changed me. Even if it's made me more, like, less tolerant for people, that's what I need to be in certain situations. If it's a situation where I'm timid, or I don't know what to do, or that person is attacking me or is hard on me, when you're in therapy and you're learning all of these things, and you learn how to deal with people, and you know what to do and what not to do, you know how to talk, how not to talk, there's a lot to learn, you know. And I just believe that I'm in a different place mentally. I feel like it's been rough for me, but my therapy has gotten me really far. And I just, you know, I think mental health is very important. I really appreciate the fact that I have a boss that knows how important mental health is. And if I tell him I'm not my best, if I tell him I don't want to be on a video call, if I tell him I don't feel good today, excuse me, he'll understand and he'll have compassion. A lot of people don't have compassion in the world. That's friends, that's family, that's people that I've met, you know, in my love life. And you have to have compassion for people, and sometimes you need to take a step back and think about maybe something you said was wrong, maybe a way that you spoke was wrong, and sometimes you need to take a look at yourself instead of always telling people to take a look at themselves. Sometimes the people that point fingers all the time are the ones that need to point the fingers to themselves. And that's why I think that everyone needs to go to therapy. Everyone needs to work on their mental health. Everyone needs to work on themselves. You know, because when you see the growth in yourself and you see everything that it does for you, it changes you as a person, and it makes you see things differently. It also makes you meet different people that are more in that type of energy of who you're becoming. Not the person that you were, but who you're becoming, because now you know more or less who you are, why you're that way, where it started, why and how, and you've been working on fixing that, and that's important. That's important. And there's men in my life that are like family to me, and they've gone to therapy. They go to therapy because they realized that they have issues of their own that they need to work on. And they realized that they would lash out or come off a certain way to people and take things a certain way, and it was a problem. And it got them to a not a great place. So they went into therapy and they were working on themselves. And it's very hard for men to admit that they want therapy, that they may need help. You know, it's very hard. So I actually have so much respect for men who go to therapy, but even more the men who are consistent with it and truly want to learn how to be better and apply that. You know, because you could go to therapy but you're not applying it, and that's, to me, that's the most important thing. You know, and you know, that's just where I'm at. And I just feel like, you know, it's been a roller coaster for me with just things I've had to change in my life and situations and stuff. But for it to have gotten me to where I'm at, I won't change anything. Like, I won't go back to it. I won't change a thing, because I know what's right for me and I know what's wrong. And you know, that's just how it is. So I just want, you know, people to really think about themselves and how they are, how they act, how they treat people, how they talk, and think to yourself, is there something that you could work on? Is there something that maybe you need help with? Do you think that you're healed but you're really not? You know, think about those things and then see if maybe you can yourself get help for it. Because I had to do that myself, because I was noticing just a lot of things and certain patterns that I personally, because I chose this, I chose that I needed to do it for myself. Not because anyone said it to me, not because anyone told me. I made the decision for myself that I didn't want to keep feeling the way I felt and having the same patterns the way that they were. And like I said, there's still a lot of things that I'm working on, but I'm just coming to terms with certain things and why and how. And it's helping me. You know, it's helping me. And, you know, I feel like if you get to know the side of me that has healed and has helped myself, you'll see the difference. You know, you'll see the difference. You'll see, well, not that you'll see the difference because you may not have known me before or known certain things about me before. Because I'm the same person. There's just certain things that have changed because of my therapy. And, you know, some people who have been in my life for a long time can tell. But, you know, I can tell and I know how much it's done for me. And, you know, I just wanted to share that with you. Shout out to Adela, who's my amazing therapist, that she doesn't know how much she means to me. I actually tell her, and I don't think she knows how much she means to me. But she's been changing my life. And just the way I think. And you know, things have to happen sometimes for us to really put ourselves in those positions of healing. And you know, just me watching videos, reading and stuff like that, I've just slowly been learning. And like I said again, I have a long way to go, but I have also come a long way. And I have to remind myself of that, because sometimes I don't, and I have other people remind me of it. So yeah, if I have anything else to add, I'll do so. But I hope to see you guys soon. Well, for you guys to see me in another video. And yeah, I'm gonna have, you know, hopefully some makeup tutorials hopefully soon. I don't want to be repetitive. I have so much makeup that's new that I've been using, new launches, new different, you know, foundations and stuff like that, face products, palettes, brushes, everything. And I've been so lazy. Like, I'm not even gonna get into the laziness that I've been feeling lately, but I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you take this as a positive thing, you know, because it's a positive thing. Therapy is an amazing thing. I just wanted you to know how I felt before, kind of how I feel now, where it's gotten me, and you know, just my mental health is a lot better. I have my moments, but I'm okay. So thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Oh, and my hair's black. I think it was black in my last video, I don't remember, but if I didn't mention it, I think it was black. Sorry. But anyway, thank you guys. I'll see you later. Bye. Mwah.